Financial Accounting. Financial Accounting by Sirisha, Associate Professor, Government City College. Today's topic, Bills of Exchange. In business, major share of business transactions is carried on credit basis. Credit has become a powerful instrument in boosting up credit sales and thereby increasing the profits of the business. Credit implies postponement of payment to future date. When goods are sold on credit, the seller asks the buyer to give a return undertaking of future payment. This return undertaking is made in proper form and is properly stamped, acts as a written document proof for acknowledgement of payment at a later date, is popularly known as instrument or bills of exchange. Bills of exchange is governed by Indian Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Coming to the introduction, bills of exchange helps to increase the sales. A seller sells the goods on credit to his customer. If sale is made on credit, cash will not be received immediately. The seller may draw a bill on the customer for an amount due from him. If the customer accepts it, the seller can get the same discounted with the bank and get cash immediately. Coming to the meaning of bills of exchange. A bill of exchange is a written acknowledgement of debt given by one person to the another person. It is generally drawn by the creditor who directs his debtor to pay a certain amount of money mentioned in the instrument. It is a valid document as an evidence of debt. Section 5 of the Negotiable Instrument Act defines bill of exchange as an instrument in written containing an unconditional order signed by maker directing a certain person to pay a certain amount of money only to or to the order of the certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. So this is the meaning of bills of exchange. Coming to the features of bills of exchange, the following are the important features of bills of exchange. First one is, it is a written document. A bill of exchange is a written document signed by the drawer and accepted by the drawee. An oral order for the payment will not amount to a bills of exchange. Second feature is, it is an unconditional order. It is an unconditional order to pay. It is not a promise or a request. Coming to the third feature, pay money. The order must be to pay money only, not in kind like shares, securities or any product like gold, etc. Further, the amount to be paid must be in certain. Coming to the fourth feature, requires three parties. There are three parties to a bills of exchange, namely drawer, drawee and payee. The person who gives order to pay or who makes the bill is called the drawer. The person who accepts or who is directed to pay is called the drawee. And the person who actually receives the payment is called the payee. So it requires three parties. Coming to the fifth feature, certain parties. The parties must be certain. They should be real and existing. Coming to the next feature, stamp. Necessary stamp must be affixed. Coming to the next one, it is to be accepted by the acceptor. Next feature is, the amount of the bill is paid to the drawer or the endorsee. Coming to the next topic is contents of the bill. The contents of the bill of exchange are date. The date of the bill on which it is drawn should be written on the top right corner of the bill. This aspect is very important to determine the maturity date of the bill. Coming to the second content is term. This is the tenure of the bill and runs from the date of the bill. This should be specified in the body of the bill. Grace period of 3 days should be given after the expiry of the term from the date of the bill. Coming to the next is amount. Another content of the bills of exchange is amount. Amount of the bill should be given both in figures and words. Amount in figures should be mentioned on the top left corner of the bill and amount in words should be mentioned in the body of the bill. Coming to the next is stamp. Stamp of proper value which depends on the amount of the bill shall be affixed on the bills of exchange. Next one is parties. There must be 3 parties to the bills of exchange, that is drawer, drawee and payee. However, in some cases drawer and payee must be the same person. All the names of the parties and their addresses should also be invariably mentioned in the bills of exchange. Next content is for value received. This aspect is most important in the sense that law does not consider those agreements which have been made without consideration. Consideration means in lieu of and in the context of bills of exchange. It means that the bill has been issued in exchange of some consideration, that is benefit has already been received. Just look at the specimen of the bill. Coming to the parties of the bill of exchange. A bill of exchange has 3 parties. Drawer. Drawer is the maker of the bill of exchange. The bill is signed by him. A creditor who is entitled to receive payment from the debtor can draw a bill of exchange. Coming to the second party is drawee. He is the person upon whom the bill of exchange is drawn. He is the debtor who has to pay the money to the drawer. He is known as the acceptor. Coming to the third party is payee. The payee is the person to whom payment has to be made. The payee may be the drawer himself or a third party. Coming to the distinction between promissory note, bills of exchange and the check. Here, according to the number of parties, bills of exchange have 3 parties, drawer, drawee and payee. Promissory note, only 2 parties will be there, that is maker and the payee. Check again has 3 parties, drawer, banker and payee. The nature of these 3 is bills of exchange contain an unconditional order to the drawee to pay the payee. And promissory note, the nature is it is unconditional. It is a promise by the maker to pay the payee. And third is check. The nature is it is drawn on specified banker to be paid on demand. According to acceptance, a bill of exchange is required to be accepted by the drawee, that is debtor, if it is to be a legal document. Promissory note has to be needs no acceptance because the debtor himself makes the promise to make the payment. In check, not at all acceptance is not at all necessary. Coming to the liability of bills of exchange, the liability of the maker, that is drawer, is conditional and secondary upon non-payment by drawee. Liability of promissory note, that is liability of the maker, is primary and absolute. The liability of the drawer in case of check is conditional and secondary, that arises only on non-payment by banker. Coming to in terms of notice of dishonor, notice of dishonor is necessary in case of bills of exchange. It is not necessary in case of promissory note. It is not necessary in case of check. In terms of payability, it is payable on demand after a specified time, that is dishonor in case of bills of exchange, and in case of promissory note, it may be made payable on demand or after certain time. In case of check, the check is payable on demand. It has to be paid even to the bearer. Crossing is not at all possible in case of bills of exchange and promissory note. In case of check, it can be crossed. Coming to the noting and presenting in case of dishonor, noting is required to establish the fact of dishonor. It is not required in case of promissory note and in case of check. Coming to the stamp duty, bills of exchange payable on demand do not require any stamp duty. Promissory note payable on demand requires stamp duty. And in case of check, there is no requirement. Coming to the grace period, bills of exchange, in case of bills of exchange, available if payable after certain period, specified period. And it is in case of promissory note, available if payable after specified period. And in case of check, grace period is not available for check. And other features are number, date, place, not at all essential. It must be stamped in case of bills of exchange. And number, date, place, not at all essential, and it must be stamped in case of promissory note. Number, date and place are essential features. It need not be stamped in case of check. Coming to the advantages of bills of exchange. The bills of exchange are used frequently in business as an instrument of credit. Now coming to the first advantage, legal relationship. Bill of exchange are very much helpful in increasing the size of the business because they facilitate credit transactions. It is issued and provides a framework which converts the establishes a legal relationship between seller and the buyer, from creditor and debtor to drawer and drawee. In case of any disputes between the parties, this relationship provides a conclusive proof in the court of law. This is the first advantage, that is, it maintains the legal relationship. Coming to the second advantage, terms and conditions. Bill of exchange is conclusive proof of the indebtedness of the purchaser or debtor. Bill of exchange contains all terms and conditions of payments, that is, amount of the bill, date of the payment, place of payment, interest to be paid, and the maturity date of the bill, and is also known to the parties of the bill, so they can make necessary arrangements for funds. Coming to the third advantage is mode of credit. The instrument has a maturity date on which payment has to be made and hence eliminates ambiguity. Bill of exchange has been defined as a negotiable instrument under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. The buyer can buy the goods on credit and pay after the period of credit with the help of bill of exchange. In case of urgency, the drawer can also get the payment through discounting the bill from the bank and without waiting for the maturity period. Coming to the next advantage, easy transferability. The bills of exchange also provide liquidity through the facility of discounting with the banker. Bills of exchange can be used for settling the debt of the creditors. Delivery and endorsement of the bill give a valid title to the endorsee. Coming to the next advantage, wider acceptance. The foreign bills of exchange facilitate foreign trade also. In case of foreign bill, wider acceptance is given to the parties through which payment can be received and made easily. Coming to the next, mutual accommodation. Sometimes bill can be issued for mutually accommodating the parties so that financial help can be given to each other. Coming to the types of bills. Bills of exchange can be classified into three types, namely trade and accommodation bills, time and demand bills, and inland and foreign bills. So now coming to the detailed elaboration of types of bills of exchange. Coming to the documentary bill. So in this, the bill of exchange is supported by the relevant documents that confirm the genuineness of sale or transaction that took place between the seller and the buyer. Coming to the demand bill, this bill is payable when it demanded. The bill does not have a fixed date of payment, therefore the bill has to be cleared whenever presented. This is known as demand bill. Usance bill. So this is time bound bill, which means the payment has to be made within the given time period and time. Coming to the inland bills. An inland bill is payable only in one country and not in another foreign country. This bill is opposite to foreign bill. Clean bill. This bill does not have any proof of a document, so the interest is comparatively higher than the other bills. Foreign bills. Foreign bill is completely opposite to inland bill. This bill can be paid outside India in terms as a foreign bill. Two examples of foreign bills are an export bill and import bill. Coming to the accommodation bill, this is another type of bill. A bill that is sponsored, drawn, accepted without any condition is known as accommodation bill. What is trade bill? This kind of bill is specially related only to trade. Supply bill. This bill is withdrawn by the supplier or contractor from the government department is known as the supply bill. End of the class.